Hi everybody, my name is Nikita Sachdev, your host at CryptoVest. I'm here today at Echelon Singapore 2018 with Wilson Wang, founder of Õpet Foundation, which is an educational platform on the blockchain, correct?
Yes, correct.
So Wilson, tell us about Õpet Foundation.
Okay, so what we are trying to do here is to bring the blockchain technologies, AI technologies, and the chatbot technologies into education space to really advance our vision of promoting a global education inclusion, thereby enabling equality of opportunities for everyone in the world. That is the grand vision. So many people ask us, what exactly is this blockchain project? So right now, the big problem we are solving right now is this. There are a lot of physical documents you have to print and scan, right, for when you apply to colleges after your matriculation examinations. For example, your birth certificates, your academic transcripts, ECA records, essays, testimonies, ... right? So right now what we're trying to do is to get the students to put all the information on the ledger and imagine a day, right, when a student just have to provide this hash key to the college that they wanted to apply to, and the college just unlock these records, right, with the token that they can obtain from the crypto exchange. Voila. Instead of just maintaining a huge office, right, to go through physical copies, right, and then where do you put all those records?
Yeah.
Now this thing can be totally seamless.
So what if someone does not have a particular record, like a birth certificate?
Birth certificate. Oh, so right now, how do they apply?
They can.
They can, exactly, right. But so right now, because it's on a digital ledger, there are a lot of ways where we can validate these records. In fact, in the developing countries, it's a lot easier when everything's on records and there's peer recognized kind of identity that the university can recognize that in certain countries, a certain accessibility to such records is just not there. And now that would truly enable the equality of opportunities for those students. But we are, unlike other ICOs, right? We actually think about the day after the ICO. Okay, how do students why would they want to put information on this ledger? So we've targeted a lot on actually addressing a very immediate pain point for the student. That is, what do they do after their matriculation exams, right? Most of them get funneled into the local universities and the local colleges or the local tertiary institutions. But here's the point, we don't believe that a child, a teenager should be just limited to those options. So we have built an AI adaptive recommendation engine, typically found in the YouTube, Netflix, and Spotify. You know, they recommend you videos and music according to your preferences. Yeah. So right now, we use the same technology to decipher all the records, right, that the students put in. And we tell them, hey, you put in the accurate records, we will recommend you global university options for you to apply to.
Yeah.
And it expands their mind, right, to know that, hey, the world is pretty big, man. Instead of, losing hope and losing their faith because they did badly in the matriculation exam and the local university context doesn't accommodate that. That's the goal we are trying to work towards. But we also know that in order to learn more about the user preference, you have to have an extended period of time. Yeah. So we actually went the extra mile and developed using the same AI adaptive engine to learn the national curriculum, okay, of the local jurisdiction. For example, right now in our first target market is UK. We learn the GCSE, O and A levels curriculum in the sciences, especially, right, and mathematics, and then introduce this affordable digital tuition. It's like in Singapore, in the UK, it costs about $250 per subject per month of private tuition. Yeah, it's freaking expensive. So what we're trying to do is offer $10 per subject per month, subscription through the iTunes. Or if you use our tokens, I will pass the savings that I need to pay 30 cents on a dollar to Apple, pass it to the user. They will pay $7 if they use the token. That by itself is a huge market because we designed this, right, to be a very open loop ecosystem.
But you guys need, the support of the educational systems, the curriculums and all that. How will you guys get that?
So we are lucky. Okay, so I have a partnership with the University of Cambridge, right? They are giving us this personality profiling tool to embed into our system, which is delivered. Our UI is a chatbot. So imagine I'm talking not to Nikita on WhatsApp, but rather to a chatbot that's specific and learned, right, to do college counseling, to do digital tuition based on that curriculum. And if you, so this Apply Magic Source personality profiling tool that is provided by the University of Cambridge will allow the students to input their Twitter login, their Facebook login, and it will generate a Big Five personality profile for us to better recommend the university options. And also, guess what? These reports, right, is stored on the ledger. Imagine the university they apply to, they see something like this, it will just beef up their chances of getting into that college. So it's a win-win proposition for the students and the university. But addressing that question, I have not forgotten the question. How do we get people to use this thing, right? The thing is, we are very practical. We don't believe that when the ledger is not even built up yet, why would university want to do it? But the thing is, it's not a binary thing. Right now, they can still maintain the university admission office, right? The big bulky office of many clerks down there to review. But now we have offered this as an alternative. Hey, there is now a ledger of high school students in UK. If you want to access that, right, you can. Here are some tokens. That's where our network incentive pool comes about, as well as a partnership pool in our tokenomics. We will invite these universities to say, hey, try this out. If you realize you actually get a more comprehensive way of unlocking students and approving applications, it will be just phenomenal. It's not an either-or thing. And that's how we address that. And you know, instead of targeting the bureaucracies, right, to force them to adopt, I target the immediate pain point of the students. Their confusion on what to do after high school and their need for affordable digital tuition.
So you're based in Singapore.
I'm based in Singapore.
But why did you decide to go to the UK market first?
Okay, first Singapore was a Commonwealth country. Our whole O-level and A-level system is modeled after the British UK system. So that's one way of actually knowing more about that market. Singapore market is too small. So I wanted to target UK first and learn the curriculum. And then after that, expanding out, right, becomes a lot easier.
Right.
In fact, we want to roll out and Uberize our global expansion very fast. Here's the beautiful thing. I want to highlight our model being open loop versus a lot of other closed loop educational ICO. And it's not to dismiss them. They are very good, right? Like Coursera is a phenomenal online academy. But an online academy, if you do an ICO from there, the tokens can be used only within that academy. It's just like a Starbucks card. You can only grow within Starbucks. But now I have actually built an AI system that learns curriculum and roll out in that country, in that jurisdiction. If I start with UK. Next, I go to India, which my backend engine is already learning the India CBSE curriculum. And then I go to Indonesia, and I have a partnership with American University of Central Asia. All the countries there, I am bringing a whole load of students, right, on board this ecosystem, and let Metcalfe Law and network effects work its magic.
Every single curriculum required on there for any country.
Any countries. The whole idea here is this. When they pass their matriculation examination, I believe they should have the opportunity to go to the top universities in the world, or any university for that matter.
Yeah.
Right? That is truly enabling equality of opportunities. That's what we're trying to do here.
So I mean, it all sounds wonderful and very philanthropic, but how do investors make money?
Okay, yes, it is a very good question.
Sorry for the blunt question, but everybody wants to know this.
Correct. But what many people do not understand, right, is that education is a big, big market. It's $4.8 trillion in an evergreen market. In fact, for the first time in history, right, the inflationary cost of education, which we are all aware of, due to the evergreen nature of this industry, is now offset by the deflationary nature of cryptocurrency. It is a big word, right? Deflationary nature. What does it mean? Deflation basically means increase in purchasing power, as opposed to inflation being a decrease in purchasing power. Yeah. So right now, yes, one Õpet coin may be worth $1. But in the future, maybe one Õpet coin will be worth a lot more, $10, $20, because of the sheer nature of the evergreen nature of this industry. That's what I'm trying to say. Why am I so passionate about launching this token, right, for education? Because imagine, I'm sure you did very beautiful revision notes, right, just like yourself, right? But you know, you throw them away after your matriculation exam. Yeah. Why not contribute to the community?
Yeah.
and they get rewarded with a certain token. That very token, 20 years down the road, can support the education of your children.
But
It is
okay,
the virtuous
so
cycle I'm trying to push
let's
for.
say this token goes up in value for
Yeah.
the investors, but let's say the students want to use the token to, get tuition lessons.
Correct? Yeah.
What if the token's too expensive?
The tokens is too expensive. Isn't that good for them? I mean, it is worth a lot, but because my services is priced in fiat. So that is the thing. So right now, as long as the government maintain the education costs, right, yes, it will grow high up, but the token actually goes higher in value. And now the vagaries
But the price of the tuition remains the same.
remains the same. Yeah,
Okay.
correct. Or I wouldn't say, I mean, maybe 2%, 3% increase on inflation,
depending on
general
the
inflation,
economy.
depending on the economy. Yeah. So we will price it in accordance, right, with the general economy, and not an exorbitant one, because the whole goal is to provide a much cheaper alternative to expensive private tuition that's the privileged families would usually have.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your timeline. Do you guys have any plans to get listed soon, or how is that going?
In fact, we took the masochistic route, right, of going to Gibraltar Blockchain Exchange. They are a new exchange, but 100% owned by Gibraltar Stock Exchange, supported by the entire government. They have the best legal framework for token cryptocurrencies, and it is extremely onerous. Right, and we've gotten our sponsors to list us there already. So it actually requires a pre-approved sponsor before you can get listed.
Yeah.
But of course, for my early supporters and investors, I know that liquidity is very important. So I've already secured a path to go on HITS BTC and L Bank, number 7 and number 8 in terms of liquidity. So that's where we are trying to make sure everybody's interest is well taken care of. Oh, another thing, I spoken to someone in fact, the number 3 or number 4 employee, right, in CoinMarketCap. Because of their unique applications in education, right, they are very interested. They are not a trading exchange, but it's a listing token, right? If ours is put up there, right, I'm sure it will get a lot of attention.
So apart from the AI chatbot and the data storage capabilities, what other features does Õpet contribute to?
So the chatbot is just the user interface, right? But because of this global ledger of high school students' records, right, it empowers a very new form of education philanthropy. Imagine right now when you have to donate to the charities, right, or to some beneficiaries in developing countries, you have to go through intermediaries, governments, where potentially 40 cents on the dollar ends up in the pockets of corrupted officials or inefficiencies of bureaucracies. But now, because of cryptocurrency, right, the donors can go to the independent crypto exchange, buy the dollar value worth of our tokens, transfer directly into the digital wallets of the students for use of digital tuition, right, for their matriculation exams that they have to take.
Wow.
With access into the records, right, of app usage pattern, their academic records for subsequent sponsorship. It is a whole new world out there, and it's not just do-gooder feeling, $60 billion worth of education-related philanthropy every year.
Yeah.
Just 1% is 600 million. I am issuing 30 million. You can do the math there, right? It opens the whole world of new opportunities for everyone. Again, enabling equality of opportunities. I mean, I'm a Singaporean. Our founding father, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, right, has led the whole pioneer generation from third world to first, because he believes that education brings about the equality of opportunities, even though we cannot guarantee the equality of outcomes. Now, because of advancement in AI, chatbot, blockchain technologies, we can bring that vision to the rest of the world. So Õpet is the spark that will lead this revolution. So join us in changing the world with us.
Yeah, that's great. I love your idea. I love that it's an open network.
Thank
you guys have you can grow so much and go so far with this.
Yes.
So thank you so much for sharing your story, and all the best with Õpet Foundation.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
For those of you who want to know more about Õpet Foundation, check out www.opetfoundation.com.
Thank you very much.